And the average person says, I don't have an outfit like that. And that's all they think of. Man, is it hard to get that green paint on their face? They must hear our message, because the message is their message. Not the parties, not the establishment, but Democrats and Republicans and independents. It's all the same. What was the change we were all looking for? You notice it wasn't well defined in the last election. Well, let's define it. An end to out-of-control spending. An end to insanity. An end to a broken government that is just gobbling everything up. An end to not listening to common sense from the American people. Trust the American people. They know. We need to be able to reach out to good people on the other side of the aisle. And I don't mean in Washington, I mean in your neighborhood. I know a guy who came over to my house, and everybody was swimming in the pool, and he came over to my house, and he said, you're going to be so proud of me. He is so little. I swear to you, he's this close to a communist. And he came over to my house, and he said, Glenn, you're going to be so excited. You're going to be so proud of me. I even got an American flag swimsuit. It's a start. And he comes out, and I look at him, and I said, that's the Cuban flag, you dope. He just looked at him and went, oh crap, it is. I have friends who are so liberal, blood shoots out of my eyes, but they're good people. They're good people. We must stop allowing the establishment to pit us against each other. I know this is a little like pot calling kettle. I know I'm part of the media establishment. But the answer is never found in the media. It's never found in the politicians. It's always found in the American neighborhoods, the American businesses, in our garages. The answer to making Americans so unbelievably efficient and bringing them into a completely new world didn't come from government. It came from a pimply-faced kid in Seattle, in his father's garage. It was called Microsoft. The iPad, the iPod, that didn't come from government. That came from a guy named Steve Jobs. Emphasis on the word Jobs. I love the story that came out from Time Magazine about a week ago. It didn't tell the story of May 28th, although that's what it was supposed to be about. It talked a little bit about the crowd and how there were 14 people. And then it said to me, now they've been yelling at me that I'm the leader of the Tea Party. Now, I'm the leader of the 9/12 project. Now, I had that idea and said, hey, everybody should get together. You're not alone. A lot of people feel like that. I'm not a leader. This particular article was fantastic because it said, Glenn Beck brought all these people together, and then he had no idea what to do with them. He's absolutely no leader. Why isn't he leading? See what positively schizophrenic. He'll do and say anything. The leader is you.
Sounds like a Joe Walsh line.
I'm the little thing on your cell phone that just goes. That's all I am. I'm a reminder. I'm here to remind you who you are and the power that you have. The power of the individual.
Amen.
This is the secret of our country. This is what built us. This is why we're different.
Amen.
Because you're different. Each and every one of us has that tell you. It was 2004 that I started getting calls from program directors of my radio show, and they said, no, don't take on the right. I said, I'm taking on the right. I'm taking on the GOP establishment.
Yeah.
Because they're lying.
Yeah.
And it didn't make me very comfortable. And then I started talking probably 4 years ago. And I remember clearly the stock market was at 13,998. And some expert was on my show. And he was just looking at it. The stock market has plenty of room to go up. I looked right at the camera. I said, no, it's America. Get out! Fire! Get out! I wasn't popular because it was happening before the election. And people said, you're talking it down. I'm not talking it down. It's collapsing. It's collapsing. And then we met Jeremiah Wright. Ooh, have those chickens come home to roost? So I started ringing that bell. I feel like I've been a town crier in more ways than one. I feel like I've just been ringing the bell going, oh, the British are coming, hello. But I have good news for you. America's awake. Everybody's up.
Steve Tucker is awake.
Everybody's up. That is now just be who we truly are. Be who we truly are. Look, I've seen these ads, this video production. It's amazing. I mean, I've seen some ads that are truly inspiring. But you know what? A slick ad or a slick politician ain't gonna change jack. It is neighbor to neighbor, just speaking the truth and saying, look at neighbor, you know me? You know me. Let's not talk about politics. I don't care who you vote for. It's not Republican or Democrat. It's principles. You know and I know. Come on. That's what's going to change everything. We have to put the pieces back together. Because it was about 1915, because the press is here, I want to make sure I say ish.
Ish.
1915-ish. The progressive movement, the Progressive Party was Theodore Roosevelt. I challenge you, if you're a Theodore Roosevelt fan. I was. I have Theodore Roosevelt bust in my head, in my house. I've got a little statue of his head. Now I'd really like to have his head, but I have it in my house. I loved him. I thought he was great. You read his words, you're like, that's inspiring. You know what I use the Theodore Roosevelt bust in my house now for? It's doorstop, my vacuum. I challenge you to read the words of Theodore Roosevelt. Some of them are inspiring. Some of them are absolutely terrifying. He's the guy who started the Bull Moose Party, the Progressive Party. And that is the cancer. So we elect not him, because believe it or not, the American people, remember, trust the American people, they thought he was too far out there. And so they were going to elect everybody's favorite president, Woodrow Wilson. And Woodrow Wilson, he was the more moderate of the two. He brought us the progressive income tax. He brought us the Fed. He brought us prohibition. My favorite, he brought us the League of Nations. That's where America said, enough is enough. They were frightened out of their mind. That's why progressives just kind of disappeared. Because they're really good at that. Change names, change outfits. Well, progressives, I know, I hate those guys too. That's what they do. They knew they couldn't change America the way that they